To start with the problem, I have drawn a circle of diameter is equal to 40 mm. I will now divide this particular diameter into 12 equal parts. You all pay attention on this particular part. I have divided into 12 equal parts. I have taken my protractor and I am started dividing this into 12 equal parts. Since these lines are the projection, so you have to make it very faint. Now I'll give the naming to this particular portions. I'll start the naming as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. After this, you have to draw a horizontal line starting from this point number 12 and divide that particular line into the same 12 equal parts. And that particular line, whatever you are drawing, that is actually the circumference of this circle. I have drawn a faint lines. So if I see the circumference of this 40 mm diameter circle comes around 125.66. So I'll mark 125.66 in my compass. 125 point somewhere over here I'll get. I'll make this also dark because it is the circumference of the circle. This I have marked. Now after this, our main work is to divide this particular circumference into 12 equal parts. There are two different methods of dividing the circle. That is, one method is you can draw a 30-degree line from here and divide that. Another method is you can directly divide this particular line into 12 equal parts. It comes around 10.47. So I'll take and I'll divide that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 and the 12th part I have divided. Now I have to give the naming to these points. 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, 5 dash, 6 dash, 7 dash, 8 dash, 9 dash, 10 dash, 11 dash and 12 dash. I have divided. This completes the step number 1 of drawing the involute of a 40 mm diameter of a circle. The second step is you have to trace the tangent points from each and every point from the circumference. So I'll draw a tangent points. First I'll draw the tangent point from your point number 1. Then from point number 2. Similarly from point number 3. Then again from point number 4, then again from point number 5, then from point number 6 and so on. After dividing this, let us go on to the question. An inelastic string of 100 mm length. Guys, now they have given an inelastic string which is wound around this 40 mm diameter circle. So the circumference what we have taken was 125.6. Now according to the question, only 100 mm of string length is to be wound around. So what I am going to do is, I am going to take 100 mm length in the compass, 100 mm length in compass, and I'm going to place this at the point number 12, and I'm going to cut a point. Here it will be going to cut. So the point where I am going to cut this particular point, I will name it as the capital point P. So because this capital point P is the 100 mm length of string which has to be wound around this 40 mm diameter of circle. I think you might be getting this step. I'll explain this step once again to all of you. First, as given in the problem, we have to draw a circle of diameter is equal to 40 mm and divide this circle into 12 equal parts. Step number 2. Draw a horizontal line from the point number 12 on the circle, and the horizontal line should be equal to the circumference of the 40 mm diameter of circle. It comes around 125.6 mm. Next step is divide this circumference line into the same equal number of parts as we have divided for the circle. After that, next important step is go carefully in the question. It is given a string of 100 mm length. So take your compass, keep the compass point at the point number 12 and mark a point P at a distance of 100 mm. This completes the basic stage of the involute. Now we will proceed to draw that particular curve. The name of the curve will be involute. The next step is, I have taken already the 100 mm length in the compass. I'll keep the point at 12 and I'll keep this particular point at point P, and I'll start tracing a curve. It is cutting the tangent line coming from the point number 1. So I will mark this point as P1. Now I'll keep the center at point number 1 and I will take the radius equal to 1 and the previous point P1, and I will redraw the arc. And this point I will mark as point P2. The third step, I will take the point 2 as a center and P2. 2P2 will be the radius, and I will again redraw this particular arc. This will give me the point P3. Now again I will keep the point 3 and 3P3 will be the radius, and I will draw another arc which will cut the tangent line passing through the point 4, and this will be point P4. Similarly, I'll get the another point. 4P4 will be the radius. I'll get the next point and I will name the point as P5. Then again from this fifth point and 5P5 as a radius, I'll get the another point. This will be P6. Similarly, from 6 P6 as a radius, and I'll again redraw the arc. It will give me P7. Then the 7 and P7, and I'll get this. This point will be P8, and final point 8P8 as a center, 8 point as a center, 8P8 as a radius. I will draw another point. This will give me the P9th point. The last step is 9th point as a center, P9, 9P9 as a radius, Please look at the step carefully, and I will draw an arc. This point will be your final point. So the curve which I have traced is called as the involute, and to get the complete 6 marks in this problem, you have to name this curve. See how I am giving the naming of that. This curve should be given the name as involute. The next and the last important step is to give the dimensions. So here I will give the dimension to this. The diameter of the circle is 40. The circumference of this is 125.6 and 100 mm length of string is wound around. So I will give the dimensions according to that. This completes your your problem of involute of this particular circle of diameter is equal to 40 mm.